Hi yogis, welcome back to week 2.
Yes, week 2.
Week 2. Okay, rolling down onto your backs, we're going to start down on our mats today. 2 options for your legs. You can extend them out long, or you can bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet together as you let your knees fall out wide. If that doesn't feel really good on your hips, you can play with the placement of your feet. You can either extend your legs back out long, or you can just kind of move around and see where it feels most natural. And then take your one hand on, did you press start? Yeah, you did. Sorry. Place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And then just give yourselves a few moments to get grounded. Any fidgets or wriggles you need to get out of your body, any technical glitches you might experience. Just give yourselves a few moments of peace and quiet to get grounded. Maybe paying close attention to where there is tension in your body today. If it's in your hips, your feet, your face, your shoulders. Just trying to make yourself as heavy as possible. And allowing your breath to kind of work its way through your body. On the inhale, watch your breath come in, travel down to your belly, expand it. And then as you exhale, take the opposite route. Allow your belly to decompress, send your air all the way back out through your nose. Maybe make it a little bit deeper, a little bit more meaningful. And maybe play with the length of your inhales and your exhales. Sometimes when we're just trying to breathe and we're just trying to be aware of it, if we put a little bit more mindfulness behind it and we start to extend it out, it kind of helps to slow everything down. Notice if you're trying to take all of your breath in at once, maybe rather than taking a shot, take a super slow, long, steady sip. And then the same is true when it comes out. Are you just releasing it all out and letting it blow out all at once? Or can you ration it and slow it down and let it be even throughout? Just taking some time to feel our bodies, letting go of anything that was building up to this practice, not concerned about anything that's going to happen post-practice. Just dropping into what you can do right now. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. And again, inhale. Soft exhale. One more. Exhale. Continue to breathe on your own, but slowly start to roll out your wrists and your ankles. If you haven't already, straighten out your legs. Maybe you rock your head from side to side, giving your neck a little bit of room. And then just from our backs, you're going to bend your knees, place your feet on the ground. You can goalpost your arms or tee out your arms, they can fall by your side, but all you're going to do is just gently knock your knees from side to side. Just a couple times, bringing some gentle movement into the spine. Maybe feeling a couple cracks, a couple pops, just gathering information. And then slowly come back to the middle. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. And then slowly, without changing the position of your legs, just drop your feet or your left foot, over to your left side. You should feel some sensation in the hip. Try and keep both shoulders on the ground and maybe look over your right shoulder. Just a gentle twist as we warm up. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Slowly bring your legs back through center. Uncross. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. And slowly lower the left foot down to the right side. If you gaze over the other side, maybe try and keep your shoulders down on the mat. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Slowly come back into the middle. Uncross your leg. And then just bring both knees into your chest. Bring your hands behind your knees. And then slowly start to rock and roll a couple times. Take your time, just building a little bit of momentum. Enough so that you'll eventually come up to sitting on your butts. Cross your ankles. Place both hands on top of your knees. We'll take cat-cows from our butts today. So, just like you do in a regular cat-cow, slowly start to inhale, drop your belly forward, and squeeze your shoulder blades back together. Lift your gaze. Exhale, curve around. Send your spine backwards. Hold on to your knees for a little extra stability. Drop your chin to your chest. Inhale, rock forward, lift your gaze, arch your back. Exhale, curve around, follow your breath all the way up. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Finding a little bit more room, a little bit more space. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Amazing. Come back to neutral. Sitting up nice and tall. Take your right hand down. Reach your left hand up and over. Keep both butt cheeks sealed down to the mat. So if you're lifting up on your hip, try and keep it nice and even. And then flow over to the other side. Just a couple times, just waking up the spine. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. And again, inhale up. Exhale, reach. One more. All the way over. So good. Slowly come all the way back. Gently rock forward onto all fours. Scoot yourself back. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and slowly start to straighten out your spine. Keep your neck long. Push evenly through both hands and both shins and zip your belly button in towards your spine. Relax your shoulders out of your ears. Soft bend in the elbows. Slowly send your right foot back behind you. Just extending it, keeping your big toes pointed straight down to the mat. Keeping your gaze exactly where it is, just extend your left arm forwards. Noticing where there's an imbalance and pushing firmly into your left shin and your right foot. If your breath got a little messy, a little chaotic, maybe just guide it back and see if you can slow it down. Just working on the balance and the stability of holding right here. And at the bottom of your next exhale, slowly release everything back down to the mat. Nice job. Slowly inhale your right hand up to the sky, open up towards the right side. Exhale, thread the needle, bring your right ear down to the mat, right shoulder down. You can take your left hand closer towards the top of your mat if that feels nice. You'll get a nice stretch on your left armpit, left lat. And if you're leaning your hips over from one side to the other, try and even them out. Pro tip, if you push down evenly through the shoelace part of both feet, you'll feel a little bit more grounded in the bottom half of your body. Big breath in. Maybe reach that bottom arm a little more in your exhale, guiding the twist. So nice. Bring your left hand back in front of your face. Push down to lift on your inhale all the way back up. And then all the way back down to the mat. Nice, just wiggle out your hips a little bit. And then recommit back through center. Push down through both hands, push down through both shins. Spine is long, your face is nice and soft, gaze is down. This time, send your left foot back behind you, keeping your hips nice and even. Pushing firmly into your left hand, send your right hand up in front of you. If you give me the thumbs up, you're going to slightly externally rotate your shoulder to keep it nice and open. Make sure your left big toes are pointed straight down to the mat. Zip your belly button in and find length in your spine as you breathe in. And breathe out. One more. At the bottom of your exhale, slowly release everything down. Perfect. Now, inhale your left hand up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, bring your left ear down. Maybe your right hand crawls towards the front of your mat. Do what you did on the other side. Even yourself out through your hips. Push down through both shins evenly and press into the shoelace part of your foot. Big breath. As you exhale, maybe you find a little more length with that left hand. This time, guide your right hand back in front of your face so you can push the ground away and thread your left hand all the way back up to the sky. Come on out, baby. Okay.
Sorry.
Felt a little too good on that side. If you haven't already, give yourself an inhale, lift up to even out, and then come on back down. Nice. When you're ready, untuck your toes, meet me in a downward facing dog. Just get upside down. Gathering a little information here. Just like we always do, make sure that your fingertips are spread out nice and wide. Help even out the load, take it out of your wrists and into your thumb and forefinger. Then try and see if you can soften your head, your neck, your shoulders by rolling your head around. The more you relax into the top part of your chest, the more you can send your chest a little closer towards your thighs. Knees are slightly bent, feet are a little wider than hip width distance, and if it feels good, take your dog out for a walk. So bend into your left knee, bend into your right, maybe sway your hips from side to side if that feels good. Take a big breath in, and a big breath out. And again. Exhale. Slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Once they arrive, generous bend in your knees. Let your chest kind of collapse down towards your thighs. Couple options today. You can hang out right here. You can bring your hands behind your neck, interlacing all 10 fingers. Or you can take your hands behind your shins or behind your ankles and maybe just let yourself dangle right here. Breathing into the space in your hamstrings, breathing some space into your low back. If it feels good, maybe sway from side to side. Take a big breath in. And empty it out through the mouth. Slowly release whatever grip you got going on. And one vertebrae at a time. Come on up to mountain pose. Taking your time bit by bit. Head is the last thing to arrive. Nice. Once it does, step your feet together. Big toes touch. Slight sliver of pizza in between your heels. Inhale your hands up to the sky. Exhale, send your right hand back, left hand forward. If you twisted your hips, keep them nice and square. Maybe look over your right hand. Check out your right thumb. Now drop both of your shoulders out of your ears. Perfect. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale back through the middle. Exhale, backstroke your left hand back, right hand forward. Try to keep your hips nice and even if they bumped to the side. Look over your left thumb if that feels good. Big breath. Big breath out. Come back through center, inhale. This time, bring your hands behind your back, interlace all 10 fingers. Punch your knuckles down towards the ground, lift up your gaze, big breath in. Exhale, forward fold, bring your knuckles over your head. Shake out your head, no. Shake out your head, yes. Take a big breath. Exhale, release your hands all the way down to your mat and crawl yourself back to your downward facing dog. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Take a big breath in, rise up on your tippy toes. Exhale, release your heels. 2 times like that. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Exhale, release. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, travel all the way up to the front of your mat. Step your feet out wider than your hands and turn your toes out kind of at 10 and 2 on your imaginary clock, or 11 and 1, depends on how your knees are going to feel. If it feels okay, slowly drop down into a little frog squat. Woo. If your hips are super tight, maybe you just hang out right here today. If your hips are a little bit more open, maybe just rock from side to side, just getting a little bit of information. Maybe you drop your heels down, maybe you pick them up. Just take a big breath. Exhale, re-straighten your legs, step your feet back, downward facing dog. We're going to move through that 2 more times just to get things moving. Take a big breath in. Exhale, slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Once you get to the back of your mat, big toes touch, slight sliver in between your heels. Inhale, flat back, iron out your spine, press your hands into your shins or your knees. Slight bend in your knees like you're doing a little deadlift. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, mountain pose. Sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, right hand back, left hand forwards. Or the opposite, doesn't matter. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, left hand back, right hand forwards, or whatever. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, inhale, lift your gaze, punch your knuckles down. Exhale, forward fold, come on down. 1 breath here. Exhale, release your hands and slowly start to walk back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, work your feet up to your hands, step them out nice and wide. If it feels okay, slowly drop your butt, come into that little frog squat. Sway side to side if that feels good. Big breath. Exhale, re-straighten your legs and step your feet all the way back to your down dog. Inhale to reset. Exhale to empty out. Slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Bring your big toes to touch. Slight sliver in between your heels. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Come on up. Exhale, right hand back, left hand forwards. Inhale, back through the middle. Exhale, left hand back, right hand forwards. Come back up through center. Hands behind your back. Interlace all 10 fingers. Inhale, lift your gaze, drop your knuckles back. Exhale, forward fold, come all the way down. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly release all the way down to your downward facing dog. So good. From here, shift your weight forwards into a high plank. Okay, 2 options. You can keep both knees down if that feels better. Or if you're in a full plank, try and keep your neck long and shoot your heels back behind you so that you can really lengthen out like you're one long line. Squeeze your glutes, press the backs of your knees up to the sky, and push the ground away from you so you're shining the back of your heart up and out through your back. Take a big breath in, and feel the heat build as you exhale. And again. Very good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice work. Inhale your right leg high, 3-legged down dog. Bend your right knee and open up your right hip. If that feels okay in your body, try and keep your chest square, shoulders even. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, low lunge. Gently step your hand or your foot right in between your hands. Keep your back leg lifted. If you need to, if you need a little bit more room, you can step your left foot out to the side. Remember, we want to be on train tracks, not a balance beam. Slowly pushing down evenly into both feet. Inhale, come on up to your crescent lunge. Whew. Okay, make sure your right knee is stacked right on top of your right ankle. It's not moving from side to side, it's nice and square. Your belly is engaged and your hips are nice and square. Your shoulders are soft. Bend your left elbow like you're giving yourself a pat on the back. Grab it with your right and give yourself a little tricep stretch. Try and avoid dumping into your low spine by keeping your belly engaged. Take a big breath. And a big breath out. Slowly release. Come back where you came from and step your foot back. Other side. Inhale, left leg high. Three-legged down dog. Bend your left knee towards your butt or kick your foot to your butt and then open up to the left side. Try to keep your shoulders even if that feels okay, and then slowly come back through the middle. Gently step your left foot in between your hands. Preparing for our crescent lunge on this side. If you need to step your foot out to the side a little bit, that's fine. Push evenly through both feet. Inhale, come on up. Whew. Okay, little wobbles, that's okay. It's just your body trying to find a little more balance. Make sure your left knee is stacked right on top of your left ankle. Keep your back leg as straight as you can. Keep your hips square, your belly is nice and strong, core is engaged, shoulders are soft. This time bend your right hand like you're giving yourself a pat on the back. Grab onto your elbow. Without jutting your hips out to the side, keep yourself nice and even and enjoy the stretch on the right. Big breath in. Big breath out. Gently release, come down. Step your foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, low lunge. Same thing, inhale, come on up. Exhale, bend your left elbow, grab onto your right, or your left elbow with your right. Inhale, come back up. Listen for the change. Exhale, bring your hands to a prayer position. Inhale, shift your weight slightly forwards. Exhale, place your left elbow outside of your right knee. If that's a bit much, drop down to your bottom knee and just work your twist from here. Try and keep your breath steady even in this kind of compromised state. If we can breathe super deep when we're in a bit of a bind, it helps things to slow down a little bit. Slowly come back out of it, inhale. Exhale, come on down to your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, come on up. Exhale, tricep stretch. Bend your right elbow, grab it with your left hand. Inhale, back up through crescent. Exhale, bring your hands to a prayer. Inhale, shift slightly forward with your chest. Exhale, wrap your right elbow over your left knee. Always the option to come down if that feels better. Work your twist, working your thumbs towards the middle of your heart. And try and keep your spine as long as possible. Back leg stays straight, if it's lifted. One more breath. Exhale, slowly come out of it. Nice big reach, big breath. Exhale, come on down, downward facing dog. Nice job. Adding on, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, tricep stretch. Inhale through middle. Exhale, prayer. Inhale, shift forwards. Exhale, take your twist. If you drop down, that's okay. One breath here. Exhale, slowly come out. Inhale up to your crescent. Listen for the change. Exhale, warrior three. All you're gonna do is shift your weight forward, send your wings back, and lift your left leg off the ground. If you have to drop that leg, that's totally fine. It's the idea of elevating away from the ground. And if you're wobbling around, that's okay too. You're just finding strength and you're just building a little more body awareness. Big breath. Exhale, slowly touch down. Inhale, star pose. Blossom your body open to the side. All 10 fingers, all 10 toes, reaching in opposite directions. And then just sit down into a horse pose. Yeah, you got it. If your knees are collapsing inwards, it's gonna feel not so great. So try and keep your knees stacked right on top of your ankles. It might mean that you have to lift or shorten the distance between your feet. Take a big breath in, and a big breath out. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior two. Bend your right knee, your left toes are slightly turned inwards, and your arms are reaching in opposite direction. Right knee stacked right on top of your ankle, keep it nice and safe. Feeling your glutes work at the same time as your inner thigh to stabilize. Big breath. Exhale, downward facing dog, back to square one. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, tricep stretch. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, shift forwards. Then take your twist. Exhale, rinse it out. One breath. Exhale, start to unravel. Inhale, back up. Exhale, warrior three. Slowly start to tip forward, lift your back leg, and send your wings back behind you. If that's not in your wheelhouse today, just drop down onto those back toes. Totally fine to take a modification. Feeling your left hip work like crazy, all the muscles working to stabilize it. Big breath. Exhale, slowly step back. Inhale, star pose, blossom yourself open. All 10 fingers, all 10 toes like a star pointing outwards. And then exhale, sit down into your horse pose. Whew. Okay, on this side, bring your hands inside your thighs. Take a big breath in to find length. Exhale, twist over your left shoulder. Inhale through the middle. Exhale, twist over the other direction. And again, breathe. And rinse. Inhale. Exhale. Amazing. One more set. One more side. Exhale. Amazing. Inhale, back up through your star pose. Reach all the way up. Exhale, warrior two. Pivot down your right heel. Left knee stays right on top of your left ankle. Left foot is facing forwards. One breath here. Exhale, come all the way down. Listen up. Step your right foot up to your mat, or the top of your mat. Step your feet out wide again. Maybe now if your hips are a little more open, you might find a little more ease as you drop into this little yogi squat or frog squat. If you need to keep your heels up, that's okay. You can stay right here. You can drop your heels. You can bring your hands to a prayer position. If that's where you are today, use your elbows to open up your knees and maybe bring your thumbs to your heart. Yeah. Big breath. And a big breath out. One more breath. Exhale slowly. Just plop back down onto your butt and shake out your legs. Whew. Good? Nice job. Okay, slowly bring your feet down onto the mat and roll down as slowly as you can. All the way back. Once you arrive, bring your shins to tabletop. Bring your arms down by your sides. Imagine that there is a little blueberry underneath the lowest part of your spine. Well, not the lowest, the part where there's a little bit of a gap. The idea is that you don't want to squash the blueberry. So you don't want to dive your belly down too much so that you put all the pressure there. You want to keep the natural curve of your spine. Keeping your belly engaged, slowly, like you're pressing on the gas pedal, press your right foot forwards. Yeah, perfect. Big breath in. As you exhale, pull your knee back to center. Great. Inhale. Exhale your left foot forward. Yeah, perfect. Big breath in. Exhale, bring it all the way back. Okay, a little bit faster here. Inhale your right foot forward. Exhale your right foot back. Inhale your left foot forward. Exhale your right foot back. Option to lift your arms above your head or above your chest like you're holding a beach ball. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, bring it back. Slowly inhale your left foot forward. Exhale, bring it back. Last one. This time push both of your feet forward at the same time. Inhale, send them forward. Woo! Exhale, bring them back. Hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Amazing. Bring your hands behind your knees. Slowly rock and roll. A couple times, back and forth. Eventually, we're going to meet back and out downward facing dog. You can cross your ankles, plant your palms, and step back. Or swivel around and get there however you want. Big breath in. Exhale, shift forward to your high plank. Big breath in here. Exhale, slowly lower everything down to your bellies. Bring yourself propped up onto your forearms for Sphinx pose. Your arms or your forearms are at a number 11 shape or a goalpost. Your elbows are in line with your shoulders, so they're not sticking out, they're not coming in. And the back of your neck is super long, so if that means you look about a foot in front of your mat, that's fine. And then I want you to see if you can slightly tuck your tailbone down. It's not a lot, it's pretty subtle. Just to open up some space along the front side of the body. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, maybe imagine you're trying to chest bump the floor a little bit in front of you. So you're moving your chest in the direction that's forwards and up. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Nice. Gently separate your elbows, lower yourself down. Bring your hands kind of in line with your chest. And if it feels okay in your low back, we'll start to come into an upward facing dog. So slowly just peel your chest away. Push the ground away with your hands. Any tension in your low back, maybe don't go so far. But if you can, maybe start to activate your quads so that you lift them off the ground. Woo! Only if you want. If that doesn't feel good, you don't have to do it. It's just an option. One breath. Exhale, lower all the way down. Right away, push back, child's pose. Send your hips back, send your hands forward. Should feel a nice sense of relief in the low back. Maybe take a breath to soften your elbows further into the mat, keeping your hips nice and heavy. Rolling your forehead from side to side, feeling a softness in the front side of your face. Amazing. Slowly come all the way back up. Swivel around onto your butts and send your legs out in front of you. Separate your feet a little bit wider than your mat. Plug your left foot into your right thigh. Perfect. Shift your chest into the direction of your right foot. If it feels good and you can keep your hips nice and even, lift your arms up on an inhale. And then exhale, slowly start to reach forward. Maybe you reach your foot, maybe you reach your ankle, your knee, it doesn't matter. Just trying to open up the left side of the low back. Giving yourself a few breaths to be nice and heavy right here. right hand, cross it over towards your left knee. Left hand comes behind your back, and just take a gentle twist. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, maybe find 1 more inch in your twist. Slowly come back through the middle. Unplug your left foot, plug in your right. Sitting up nice and even, nice and tall. Guide your chest towards your left leg so it's kind of in the same line. Lift up your arms, big breath. Exhale, reach forwards and long. Grabbing whatever is accessible to you. Maybe it's your foot, maybe it's your ankle, your knees, doesn't matter. Just like you did on the other side, relax your head, make it heavy, and breathe. Gently come all the way back up. Start to rotate towards your right knee. Right hand comes behind your back. Left hand goes up and over your right knee. Pick up your spine, big breath in. Exhale, rinse it out on the other side. And again. Try to relax your left leg as much as possible. 1 more breath. Exhale. Slowly come back through the middle. Untangle your legs. Give them a little shake. And just for a moment, we're going to come back into that cross-legged position. Take your hands out on either side of your hips. Reach them out as long as they'll go while still touching the ground. So reach your hands out as long as you, yeah, perfect. Now drop your right ear towards your right shoulder without lifting your right shoulder up. So keep your shoulders nice and low and feel a nice stretch all the way along the left side of your neck. Depending on where you have tension, maybe tilt your chin towards the right shoulder. Or if it felt better to keep it neutral, you should still feel a nice stretch. Being super mindful of whether you're lifting your right shoulder towards your ear. Try and see if you can keep it down. Inhale, come back up through the middle. Exhale, drop your left ear down towards your left shoulder. The further you reach with your right hand whilst keeping the fingers on the ground, the more sensation you should feel in your shoulder. If it felt nice to do it on the other side, maybe send your gaze to your left shoulder. Wherever you're at, just breathe. Slowly come all the way back with your gaze. Without changing anything about your spine or the rest of your body, just drop your chin down to meet your chest. Feeling a heaviness in the head and feeling a nice stretch on the back side of your neck. 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Slowly come back out of it. We're going to end this practice sitting up today. So if this is okay with your hips and your knees, you can stay right here. You can always make any adjustments to your feet. You can always come down onto your knees if you prefer. And if none of this works, feel free to lay down on your mats. But we're just going to close our eyes and listen to our breath for the final few minutes of this practice. So starting from your base, from your root, feel your tailbone sink closer towards the earth. If you're sitting cross-legged, actively disengage your hip flexors so that your knees are heavy down towards the ground. Feel a soft pull of your belly towards your spine as your core strength helps to keep your spine lifted. If that means that your shoulders lifted towards your ears, actively drop them down. Creating a clear line from the root of your tailbone up through your spine and out through the crown of your head. Maybe imagining a light shining out through the crown of your head, reaching up towards the sky. The more you focus on your breath, the more intense that light becomes. Unclench your jaw, keep your face nice and soft, and just breathe in through your nose, softly out through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And again. Exhale. The next time you take a breath in, open your mouth and sigh out your breath like this. Like you're so relieved it's yoga. Big breath in. Exhale. Maybe make it even longer. Inhale. Exhale. Testing out your swimmer lungs. One more time. Exhale. Gently blink open your eyes. Bring your hands to a prayer position, plugging your thumbs right into your heartbeat. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Go in peace. Namaste.